It's been a while since we talked, but I'm very glad we were able to take some time to get together.
Yes, I'm thrilled, although for a while I thought you may not make it, Oxytocin. I did not want to miss our gathering, although my work as a love hormone is very important. All of our work matters, and it's good to get together and reminisce. Agreed. We need to stick together. Where would humanity be without us? For example, if I don't show up, the human body does not move properly, can't remember things, can't really learn to pay attention. This is in addition to my role as a reward molecule. You're right. I had forgotten that you're a neurotransmitter and can modulate many bodily functions. Most people associate you with pleasure, but you do so much more. Enough about me. I think we are better together. We've had some wonderful adventures over the years. Yes, I'm thinking of the time we played matchmaker, and the outcome was 1,000 times better than I ever expected. Yes, I think I know what you're referring to. I think this was one of our finest moments. The Beckmans? Our journey begins with Arnold, who was just a young boy back then. He was born in Illinois but lived most of his adult life in California. He had 2 brothers and a sister. I remember this clearly because I'm the hormone responsible for regulating appetite, digestion, sleep, and other bodily functions. I'm the precursor for melatonin, so without me, you can't get a good night's sleep. Without me, young Arnold Beckman would not be happy, even as a child. Anyways, Arnold's father was a blacksmith. He had not gone to college, and he wanted Arnold to follow in his footsteps, or perhaps be a carpenter. But Arnold had a different destiny. Yes, it starts with both of you. Dopamine, you and serotonin worked together to get him to love chemistry. Agreed! When he found a copy of his aunt's book, Steele's 14 Weeks in Science, at the age of 9, that's when we really got to work. In any case, it wasn't long before his dad made a makeshift chemistry lab in the shed. This was for his 10th birthday, remember guys? They called Arnold Hoot. Remember that? They also used the shed for Boy Scout meetings. Well, his younger sister also likes science. I made sure of it. Remember Wilma? Yes, Wilma Beckman, Arnold's little sister, obtained a master's degree in nutrition and was pursuing a PhD when she got married. She was pursuing her studies in the sciences at the time when few women entered the field. This was right around 1930. Women had just gotten the right to vote. When was the 19th Amendment passed, guys? That was in 1920. Arnold's older half-brother became a lawyer, and his other brother was a salesman. His brothers influenced him in another way. He had one brother who was in the Navy and one who was in the Army, so he joined the Marines. Let's get to the good part, the part where he meets Mabel and they fall in love. I'm the molecule that's responsible for bonding and physical touch, remember? This is when I come in. When he completed high school in 1918 as a class valedictorian, World War I was underway, and Arnold enlisted in the Marines. He completed boot camp and was sent to the Brooklyn Navy Yard to debark for the European theater. Shortly after he arrived in Brooklyn, however, the armistice had been signed, and he never left the country. At a Red Cross Thanksgiving dinner in 1918, he met Mabel Beckman and her mother serving meals for the troops. Here's where we all come together. Remember, you need me to feel good, and when Arnold sees Mabel, he begins to feel good. Mabel, a Red Cross nurse at the time, had volunteered to serve Thanksgiving dinner to the troops at a local YMCA. In walked Arnold Beckman, a Marine nearing the end of his term. After the meal, Arnold asked if he might escort Mabel home. Sparks flew through the chilly November evening as they headed back to the house on Oakton Street. He didn't know it then, but Mabel would become his partner for 70 years. They got married in 1925. But first, many things happened. Arnold and Mabel date for several months and continue a long-distance relationship over the next several years. Yes, it was too late for Arnold to enroll in college after his military service ended, so he decides to go out west. He makes it as far west as Idaho, where he earns money playing the piano inside movie theaters. Those days, there were no talkies. Movies with sound were non-existent, so instead there was a piano player who would play music during the silent movie. Arnold was an excellent piano player, and his music helped everyone feel good as they watched the movie. Well, yes, he travels west hitchhiking with a friend, spends most of his time playing the piano in movie theaters in the evenings, and he also finds a job developing film during the day. He also goes fishing with a friend who teaches him how to fish. This increases their bonding, which is my job. All the while, he is writing letters to Mabel. With his military service complete and college illumin, Arnold enrolls at University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign by the following fall. But the young couple was committed. They face years of long-distance courtship with conviction and a stack of postage stamps. Mabel stayed in Brooklyn and worked as an executive secretary and a clerical supervisor. Meanwhile, at the University of Illinois, Arnold eventually meets Richard C. Tolman, a father of physical chemistry. Dr. R.C. Tolman had taken a position at Caltech, California Institute of Technology. Arnold completes his bachelor's and master's degrees at UIUC and begins his doctoral work at Caltech. He had gotten his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering in 1922 after only 3 years. And in just one more year, he'd obtained a master's degree in physical chemistry, studying the thermodynamics of aqueous ammonia solutions. He then drives out to California with his friend Bill Hinkey and Bill's Model T Ford. Serotonin, is he still writing letters to Mabel? Yes, Oxytocin, and they're discovering now that they have some things in common. Both were born in 1900, Mabel in the Big Apple and Arnold in small-town Illinois. Their paternal grandparents had immigrated to the U.S., both from Germany, and they shared a flair for the fine arts, though Mabel preferred oils and needlework to Arnold's chosen instrument, the piano. Of course, it was their mutual commitment to service that prompted a serendipitous union on Thanksgiving Day, 1918. Sealed envelopes flurry across the continent for almost 6 years. Yes, as they get to know each other more and more, their commitment to each other grows, thanks to all 3 of us. When writing love letters, serotonin, myself, and dopamine work together to enhance their emotional expression. I'm the neurotransmitter that helps stabilize your mood. I help promote a sense of well-being. When you're feeling positive and content, it's easier to express your feelings and articulate your emotions in a heartfelt way. I enhance feelings of trust, empathy, and bonding. When you're thinking about your loved one and recalling shared memories, I help you feel connected and affectionate, which translates into the warmth and sincerity of your words. And I'm linked to pleasure and motivation. The excitement and anticipation of expressing your love and imagining the recipient's reaction can boost my levels, making the process of writing the letter enjoyable and motivating you to be creative and thoughtful. Together, we create a supportive environment for expressing love and affection, making your love letters more genuine and impactful. Now back to the Beckmans. In 1924, Arnold pauses his PhD to move back east. He takes a break from studies and went to New York, working at Western Electric Engineering, which would eventually become Bell Laboratories. He also marries Mabel in Brooklyn on June 10, 1925. Though long awaited, their wedding was bittersweet as it signaled Mabel's farewell to her hometown. In the fall of 1926, with the words, "Oh baby, just married," barely scrubbed from the door of their Model T, the young couple pool their paychecks and head off for Pasadena, where Arnold would complete his PhD at Caltech. Compared to 6 years of long-distance dating, the 6-week road trip from Brooklyn, New York to California was a cinch. Yes, Mabel learns to drive on Wyoming's winding roads, and Arnold breaks a personal record for 19 tire changes in 24 hours. They camp in canvas tents and cultivate a lifelong love for the outdoors. That's thanks to all of us again. Together, we create a powerful synergy that can significantly boost mental and physical health when you're in nature. They then arrive in Altadena, California, which is near Caltech, so that Arnold can complete his studies. Once he had finished, Caltech hires Arnold on the spot, and he becomes a professor, known for creative teaching methods. Arnold and Mabel begin a new adventure in the 1930s by starting a family. After they build a house in Altadena, they adopt 2 children, Patricia and Arnold, to make it a home. Mabel would rise with the sun each morning, and Arnold would commute daily to Caltech. Unfailingly, the couple shared lunch every day. They also shared their household duties. Arnold tended to his rose garden and tackled various home improvement projects, and Mabel managed all facets of the household and prepared nutritious dishes for family and friends. Mabel was a wonderful cook, and together they would host many dinner parties. They lived in Altadena for 27 years until the 1960s when they moved to Corona del Mar, California. Arnold and Mabel made a wonderful couple. They were a team on a mission. Mabel would often be Arnold's sounding board and business confidant. Yes, throughout his career, Mabel was her husband's greatest supporter. In 1927, Beckman applied for his first patent, a buzzer for a car speedometer that would alert drivers when they'd reached a present speed. It's been suggested that Beckman came up with this device because he was a notorious speeder. In later years, he would take his family on outings in their car and position his two children as lookouts as he careered down the highway. In 1936, Arnold invents his real claim to fame, the pH meter. His friend Glenn Joseph, a chemist in a citrus industry lab, needed a way to accurately measure the acidity of lemon juice. The acidometer, as Arnold first called it, was a sturdy yet sensitive device that used vacuum tubes to amplify weak electrical signals. The scientists in Joseph's lab loved it. Indeed, the invention of the pH meter signaled a new era of scientific instrumentation. Never before had scientists had compact, complete devices to work with. They usually labored to cobble together instruments out of off-the-shelf parts. Now, though, research could be focused on answering the scientific question at hand, rather than designing the right tools. Arnold then formed National Technical Laboratories and begins manufacturing his acidometer, which he eventually renames the Beckman pH meter. The pH meter is recognized as an ACS historic chemical landmark. In 1939, Arnold left Caltech to focus on inventing instrumentation. During World War II, he developed the helical potentiometer, known as the helipot, a precision instrument that outshone other potentiometers. In 1953, he renamed his growing company Beckman Instruments and moves it from South Pasadena home to a new plant in Fullerton, California. By the 1960s, Arnold was serving as chairman on the board of Caltech. Arnold and Mabel then turned their attention to their new goal, to donate all the money they'd made to the scientific community that had given them so much. They started with a few major gifts to schools. For example, in 1984, they donated $40 million to construct the Beckman Institute at the University of Illinois. The U.S. was also recognizing the value of Beckman's contribution to science, witnessed by his induction into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 1987 and his winning of the National Medal of Technology in 1988 and the National Medal of Science in 1989. But sadly, after 64 years of marriage, Mabel died in 1989. Beckman then decided to take the remaining assets and create the Beckman Foundation, which would continuously replenish its funds through investments. When he was 65, Beckman stepped down as the president of Beckman Instruments. The company, still based in Fullerton, continues to grow. In 1997, it merged with Coulter Corp to become Beckman Coulter. Together, as neurotransmitters, we helped Arnold Beckman through his lifetime of innovation. I'm the neurotransmitter that helped stabilize his mood and promoted a sense of well-being. I helped him because when you're in a positive state of mind, you're more likely to think creatively and approach problems with an open mind. I helped Arnold Beckman in the love department because I enhanced social bonding and trust. Strong social connections and collaborative environments can stimulate creative thinking by allowing individuals to share ideas freely and build on each other's insights. And I assisted in Arnold Beckman's life as the reward hormone, because I'm associated with pleasure and motivation. I play a key role in the brain's reward system, reinforcing behaviors that lead to positive outcomes. Arnold Beckman died on May 18, 2004, in his sleep at the remarkable age of 104. In addition to a wonderful legacy, he left behind a daughter, Patricia, and a son, Arnold, as well as 2 grandchildren. His legacy of science and business leadership spans the entire 20th century, from his early days as a scientist at California Institute of Technology during the 1930s, to his invention of the device that revolutionized scientific instrumentation, the pH meter, and to his role as leader of megacorporation Beckman Instrument. Next to the pH meter, Beckman is perhaps best known for his extraordinary philanthropy. The foundation that bears his and his late wife Mabel's names, disburses millions of dollars of his considerable fortune to scientific endeavors each year. Their mission is to support various institutes and programs in chemistry and the life sciences.